Okay. Um, Welcome back, everyone. This is the second session, and the topic of discussion is basically about building a sustainable future for RANs through collaboration. There's one way of doing it, and a very important way of doing it, which we must. Okay. Um, so let's ask ourselves, who are the NRANs? Who are we? We better find out who we are first. So NRENs are basically National Research and Education Network. It's a specialized internet service provider dedicated to supporting the needs of research and education community within a country. It's usually distinguished by supporting a high-speed backbone. And this from Wikipedia. That's who we are, or that's how people see us as. So what are our activities? Deployment of advanced network technology to interconnect research and education entities to the global NRENs. Identification, development, and distribution of network services like EduRoam, EduGain. Participation in international network organizations. And these are information that I actually picked up from the internet. It's not mine. It's from there. But I was also looking at other NREN's webpage. This were common throughout all our web pages. I want to ask you a question. How young is your NREN? I didn't want to use the word old, but how young is your NREN? Some NRENs are pretty old, some are very young. So when was your NREN established? So I did search the internet. It's pretty difficult to find out when NREN was established in each country, even with the NREN website. But here are some that I found. Drukren is the youngest in 2014. Learn in 2007. But that's what is on the website. But I think you all started much earlier because based on what you say, Tyran, Charapon, you're born in 2007, correct? But they have other names, right?
Previous version of the title.
Yes, that's what I thought. Rian's in 2006. This is like a quiz. Is that correct? Okay. Uh, Inherent, ID Ren, Bazuki. I mean, they changed their name a little bit in 2006. In the case of Singaran, we were established as a society in 2003, but we were a project funded by the government in 1998. Prejudice is a little bit difficult to find out when they started. Um, they a bit difficult. Do you know when? Do you? Cernet, is that correct? 1999. 1994. Wow, even earlier. Sorry. Wow. Congratulations. Cernet, 30 years. Uh, One of the oldest is actually Arnet. They were back in 1989. They came online. So we have young enrants and we have older enrants. Okay. And we all go through different stages of development and evolution. Singapore liked to have acronyms. One of the famous acronyms was C's. It's say 3 C's of collaboration. In actual fact, it was 3 C's for how prosperous a person is in Singapore. You must have a car, you must have a credit card, and you must have a condo. But then I changed it and said, there's 3 C's in collaboration. Communicate. We must communicate with each other. Okay. Communication is not just talking, but also listening. Be open about it. Without communication, there's no collaboration. Because I don't understand what your need is, you don't understand what my need is. coordination. Once we communicate, we need to coordinate how we want to do things. Okay, that's the first stage of collaboration. You know, like the NRENs, engineers, they coordinate among themselves, establish a little group, they coordinate among themselves how to set up certain things. Cooperate. That means it's bigger already. Not just coordination to do something, but we cooperate in a wider perspective. That's the 3 C's that I see in collaboration. Very, very important. And it indicates the different phases that we go through in our collaboration. However, for collaboration to exist, there must be certain ingredients. Communicate. Trust. If I don't trust you, how can I cooperate with you? I'll always be putting up my defenses, you know, and whatever you say, I'm saying no. So we must trust each other. And we are not vendors. We are the NRENs. Okay? We have common goals to serve the community and to interconnect globally with each other. In a collaboration, there must be mutual benefit. If you depend on someone and they don't benefit from it, frankly speaking, after a while, that collaboration will die off. So you must benefit from it. I must benefit from it. But we don't calculate, you benefit $5, I must benefit $5. You must think of the bigger picture. We all benefit $100. And I will put $5 in, you put $2 in. Who cares? We already benefit $100 already. Okay? So it's important to have mutual benefit in a collaboration. Without it, it will not last for long. There must be transparency. We must be transparent with our collaborators. Okay? Be clear about it. Be clear why you want to do it. Okay? There must be governance. There must be proper process when you establish a collaboration. As we grow the collaboration and it grows bigger, we must have all the processes in place. Otherwise, there's going to be arguments. Yeah, hey, this is doing this and I'm doing that. Why are we doing that? It's just like in the old days, multiple families stays in one long house, home. We must understand what we're supposed to do. Okay? And there's a process to it. So it's very important that these ingredients, I may have missed out any, or any other ingredients, do you think we should add on to that? Maybe we can discuss about it and add on to that. But these are some ingredients that I think we have to have in a collaboration. It may not be all of them, okay? Some of them. So I thought I'll give you some case studies of collaboration and its impact. One of the major collaborations that we have in our region is the Tian. It was a major impact. I was there in the first picture up there is the, sorry. Wow, it's so blurred. You can't even, okay, David West is there. You know, we were there and we were in Malaysia. And that was the first engineering meeting that we had in Tian 2. And that was in Malaysia. Okay. And we were like-minded people and we trusted each other. Okay. And we were building up that trust. That was the first meeting. And you had to have a large number of meetings before we say, okay, we agree. You know? So 2000, Tian 1 was just government fund and you connect. Okay. Tian 2 was David West and Jian coming in. And then Tian 3, the South Asian countries came in and joined us. And Tian 4, we, the community under Tian Star CC, says, We will manage it ourselves. And I was for it. It's not an insult to David. I felt that we have to take responsibility. And at that time, there was big uh, discussion. I'm not sure Anjay was there or not. I'm not, you were there. There was so much discussion and so much conflict. And Shimoja-san was there. Shimoja-san was one of them. And we were chatting and laughing um, here that in old days when we were holding the meeting, every now and then we say, okay, tea break. We go outside and discuss because we couldn't come to a conclusion in the meeting. And we Asians are a little bit more uh, polite, I put it. You know, we are a bit quiet. And so, okay, tea break. Then we'll go out and a small group of us will, hey, what's wrong? Why? What's the issue with you objecting to that, you know? And then we'll come back in. Okay, everyone agree. Then we go ahead. And that's our Asian way of doing things. Polite, quietly, we settle things. And I think that was amazing. But it took a lot of effort, a lot of tea breaks, you know, to achieve that, you know. But I was very proud because we own it. John is helping us as advisor. We, the region, say it's our project. We own it. 2016 to 24, we changed that name to Asia Connect. Let me show you what the impact is. This is 2003. This is APAN network in 2003. Look at majority of us, we were connecting to US by ourselves. You know, we were, and for me to communicate with Malaysia or Thailand, I have to bounce off the US and come back. That was how crazy it was. But we were all very nationalistic. I want to connect to the US. That's the internet. Look what Tian did for us. We started connecting within our region. Okay, and I have to thank the European for coming into as a catalyst to bring us together. You know, and we pay for it. We pay for it as well. It's not 100% by them. We pay for it, and there were contributors from Japan. Okay, who contributed some of the links. That is 2006. You look at how collaboration changed the entire systems completely. And look at this. This is us. This is our network as it is now. Look at the amount of contributions from the different entities to it. Frankly speaking, the Europeans contribute only a small amount compared to all these other contributions. But us, we the NRENs, Japan contributed amazingly. Okay, China, okay, CSTNet, okay, CERNet, JUCC, Australia, RNet. That's what it is. It's our project. Sorry, I'm a bit emotional because I've been there since the start and like to see that. Okay, that's only within our region, connecting you and beyond. Okay, Asia Oceania region, we have all this collaboration. You saw that. I showed that up there. I'm so proud of us. You know, I'm so proud that we established the APONET. I'm so proud that we established the AER. Other regions contribute as well, fairly. You know, in the US, Europe, they contribute. NorduNet, Surf, they contribute to connect to us. We are equal. And guess what? Here we signed the East Asian Resilient Broadband Network for this area here. Okay. We say how we have done it and how proud we should be. And why do we do it? What benefit does it? It really has resilience. It really helps us to make sure that the network is up almost 99.9% of the time. You know, this shows you how it is. You know, the CAE one, that is Singapore to London, broke. Our traffic got routed to Japan, and from Japan all the way to Europe. I don't have to ring up Akashi-san and say, hey, could I route my traffic to you? No, it's done automatically. CUS, this is from Garrett, CIO of University of Hawaii. Garrett sent an email out because his link from Hawaii to US and Hawaii to Guam was down. Okay. And they really thank RENs who's stepping up. And it's automatic because they're part of the APONet. Correct? Do you charge them anything for that? No, it was free of charge. But more valuable than anything else, we back up each other. When I'm in trouble, I know that you're there to help me out. When you're in trouble, I'm here to help you out. And that's Garrett saying that. David Lesnar concur with that. He is the president of University of Hawaii. So you see the power that we bring by just collaborating, by working with each other, by understanding each other's needs. And we benefit mutually. There's a mutual benefit there. And we have regular communications, both at steering group as well as the engineering group. Data mover challenge. Could we have organized a challenge like that if not for the collaboration and support of our friends? We would not have. Okay. But there is a reason why they will benefit from it as well. Because once we know what software is really good at transferring this high speed, okay, and we know how much we can push on each of the links, we will look at possibly deploying the DTN nodes with that software around. So that's international. We also have to collaborate within our NRENs. Okay, that is very, very important. We collaborated with the National Grid Office, National Grid Pilot Project, which John was there as well. I was on it, Singaran, and he was with the grid. And at that time, 1 gig was amazing, you know, and say, okay, we'll connect the institute with 1 gig with this special offer for price from one of the telcos, and we connect NTU, NUS, and a number of research institutes together. We could have gone out and bought our own link, but we didn't. We find out what other things is happening around. We work on it, we collaborate on it. Singaran's infrastructure has grown from 1 exchange point to 2 exchange points. Thanks to the government funding, we build up resilience as well in that. Okay, but we work very closely with the National Supercomputer Center, NSCC. This guy here. We work with them very, very closely. Our office is across the door from them. You know, you walk across. Amber, do you go to our office in Fusionopolis, 17th floor? They offered. Okay. It's NSCC, and once you come on the lift, NSCC on one side and Singaran is on the other side. But we are squatting with another organization. Yeah. We work very, very closely with them. And when they came to us for help, because one of their researcher had a problem, they went to simulate climate change in Australia because there wasn't enough resource in Singapore. So they used NCI supercomputer in Australia. However, when they wanted to shift the data back, it was 4.5 petabytes of data. They said, Christ, it's going to take me a long time. And they said, oh, I mean, went on commercial internet, it was only about 100, 200 meg, you know? So I said, hey, Francis, can you help this member? And we did. And we worked with RNet, you know, to get that done. And we showed them, hey, I can get you 8 gigs, run on it. You know, and we did the job for them at no cost. Okay. So it's things we do for people. Sometimes it builds up the relationship and trust with them. So I'd like to pose a few questions to you all. I think hopefully we can have a discussion on this. What is our vision? What is our plan in the coming 5 years? Are there planned major national, international projects? SKA is coming online. I got a request to say, hey, can the SKA data come through SingaREN and we peer with someone else and let the data go? I said, no problem. Go ahead, use the network, you know? But make sure the RNet and everyone agrees to it. Once that's agreed, that's fine with us. Okay? What is your biggest challenge that you're having? What is our value add to the community? If we don't add any value to the community, we become irrelevant. Are there instances when NREN has made an impact on the community, not of the community? Because when you go to your funding body, you better have some stories to tell them how you have made an impact and to whom has benefited from it. It's critical for us. I think all of us, we report to someone, we have to report why. You know, what's our value add? What's our relevance to the research and education community? And well, that's all I have. Sorry, I leave you with a lot of questions rather than anything else. Yeah.
Thank you, Francis. In fact, let's find answers. We have about an hour. About an hour.
An hour.
Yeah, so we can find answers. So if that's an exam, let's find answers. Thank you very much. In fact, it's very inspiring, and it's also nice to hear how things evolved and where we started and where we are. Yeah. So you have asked us the question. So in terms of collaboration, in terms of the bigger picture, what do you have in mind for the next 5 years? Yeah.
I'm supposed to question. You're not supposed to answer it. It should be our joint vision.
Yeah.
It should be our joint vision. I have to start thinking now. Yeah. For SingaREN, it is how can we establish the SingaREN POP to better serve my Singapore community as well as the global community. Because as a POP, as an open POP, you connect to it, we have ties that out. Okay. To me, that is my vision, not my mission. That's my goal. To set up a really open POP to serve the community as a whole. You know, SingaREN internally, our network is quite good. What I didn't share with you yet is that we are actually going very heavily onto cybersecurity. We found that cybersecurity is very, very expensive. So we got some funding for buying some of the equipment. But we also think that cybersecurity is not just the equipment. It's also gathering of the community together, the cybersecurity folks together. John is co-leading the group that looks at threat intelligence sharing. So we have the cybersecurity people from the different universities coming together, sharing, and we use a platform to share what are the common threats that we are having and we're seeing. So that's how we are slowly building up our trust in each other within the cybersecurity area. You want to say anything, John?
Yeah, I think the trust part is so beautiful. I mean, when we came together, just discuss about this project, it was just this project. But when we started talking about how should we share, and then realized that, oh, okay, we're going to share really sensitive things. And then that's where the trust established. So I thought that was the beautiful part of it.
I forgot that slide, the collaboration.
The 3 C's.
Yeah, 3 C's, yeah. But I have one point, whether empathy is there. So
Impact.
empathy. I don't know if anyone
Here.
ingredients.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually we need empathy.
Yeah.
Okay. Without empathy, it is very difficult for the LDCs and LMICs also to sustain. And as an example, Nordnet showed the empathy. Okay. It's not mutual benefit. Empathy is something.
How you impact the whole community.
Yes,
Okay.
REN has to come forward with the feelings of BDREN. Okay, they have to put themselves in the shoes of BDREN, or they have to put themselves in the shoes of LARNET, DRUKREN. Okay, that's kind of empathy what I need, as Nordnet did for us, as NKN is doing for us. Actually, we are not paying anything for that link.
Yes.
Okay, so that part, if it is included, and if the developed entrants come forward, then it will be better for us to develop. And once we get developed, we will help others by showing the same feelings.
Yes.
That's the way for collaboration, and
Yeah.
that's the way to move forward.
Yes. Yes, certainly.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think if you look at it, sometimes there must be a first mover. You know, you think about it, that someone has to take a first step in any collaboration. Take a first step on it. Then slowly you see people converge, and then we'll move as one. I totally agree with you. I think we saw that multiple times within our experience, short time.
You were already showing your collaboration. You were extending your HPC system to NREN. So those things are needed actually to grow up and to flourish within our community. Okay. Maybe a small help can give a big boost for our economy.
Yes, I think it's very important to help each other out. It's just a family, that's what it is. But sometimes I also have constraints. Okay, I only managed to do it for NREN, Nepal REN, but just as a start, we just did a POC on allowing one of NREN researchers to get into NSCC system as a short POC. Although I already got permission to allocate for 1 year a small amount of resource for us to call for proposal for NREN researchers to use the system. But it's a small start.
Sorry for narrowing it down.
Okay.
I didn't mean that you have to give HPC service to BDREN. That is not my point.
No.
Suppose the ISIF project
Yeah.
it has also given us a
Yes.
big boost.
Yes.
Okay. So thanks to Sarnet. So
Yeah.
there are a lot of examples of collaboration in this field, in this community. So if the bigger countries can come forward, a small gift can be a big boost for ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, certainly.
Thanks, Angie.
Angie.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so since we talk about collaboration, I think currently the most problem for us is just collaboration, and among Asian,
Sorry?
among Asian, yeah, that means just among our community, we seldom collaborate. When we leave this meeting, when we leave Asia Connect project, we seldom collaborate, right? Little. And it's still not the most biggest, not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is for Asian, it's a union of universities, right? But we didn't get success on the collaboration with universities. For example, for APAN conference, only Asian people come here, and seldom there are university people here. Yeah, if we take all our university members, the computer science professors, and their students here, is well quite different. Yeah, so the different level collaboration problem, maybe that's the biggest problem we are currently facing. We didn't do it very well. I think it's our own problem. Every Indian, yeah, we have responsibility for that. Yeah, we didn't behave very well. Yeah, but maybe in the future, yeah, we can do it. Yeah, so for collaboration, not only collaborate outside, but also inside. Yeah, and
Yes.
maybe the most important is inside.
So that's why I said that external and then that's internal. And in actual fact, you're right. Even some of the researchers doesn't know much about single REN within Singapore universities, and how we go about educating them. What I also didn't show you is we're doing a science DMZ with one of the university, and slowly getting the people online, the researchers online onto that, and say, hey, guess what? You're transferring quite a bit of data, but the university firewall is slowing you down. So we have this other part which you can do, and we work together. We don't work independently. We work together with the university HPC system, and they benefit from it. So the researchers say, I want to get onto you as well, so that I can get onto this network that transfer my data out fast and bring the data in. And that also benefit the general users. You know why? Because the traffic, heavy traffic, is diverted on another part, and you're not fighting on the same firewall with them. So they also benefit from that, And the other thing is we actually set up DB Mirror so that other people can access the data, open data that we download. And by end of this month, we're going to have the protein data bank. This is with San Diego supercomputer. They are going to deploy a cache server in Singapore. And Singapore uses only 3% of the whole thing. And the rest, so Asia uses about 50% of access. Now, Singapore only has 3% of that. So the rest of it is the rest of Asia. But we put the cache in Singapore because, well, the connectivity is quite good. And everyone benefit. And I see that those are things that we do, little things, but it can have an impact. It need not be big money to have impact. Little things can have big impact.
It's good, like while we are looking at the positives of the collaboration, the things that are missing, and what we can do more, a critical self-reflection, right? So that's what I think I see it as something very positive. We also have to be very realistic about, okay, so when we go out, what we are selling to our members, what we are selling to our government is all these good stories. But at the same time, we also had to see where we are really, how we can bring more members together, how even for say the APAN conference we started this time, although we had a short amount of time, what we realized is there's no lot of engagement from the research community. There's plenty, enough researchers who are publishing good papers in all this AI high performance area in the region, but they are still not interested in putting their papers to APAN conference. We just started though, but how do we engage? How do we bring them in? How do you bring all these students in? Maybe we had to think of strategies of doing it. That seems to be something of our concern. And it's a very good point actually. So although there are a lot of
Actually, 2 points. One, I thought then goes back to Professor Wang Zilong's suggestion of asking for help or concern areas. I think I guess for both developing and developed, we all have our different challenges, whether it's a strategic level or at resource level, right? So I think it's good to be open and just ask and then see how they can be met. The other one was about bringing the researchers. I recall when I first started attending APAN in 2005, there were like the e-science working group, agriculture working group, and of course we still have the medical working group, right? But these were the verticals. And I thought it was very interesting for the network people to go in and hear what the requirements were for the domains. But I mean, since then, I've not been attending, and I'm not sure why today some of these so-called horizontal verticals are not there anymore. Maybe it's difficult to find them to come. I don't know, but I thought that would be quite relevant.
Yeah, as submitted by Professor Wong, I think I also would like to maybe I requested this in the APAN Council meeting yesterday. There's not really a database where the local researchers in the country can refer to, like for instance, the list of research projects being carried out by REN, being carried out by REN, Japan, China, where they can refer to and see if it is relevant for them, and then get in touch with those people and see how they can also contribute, right? I mean, this would really help us in utilizing the high-speed link that we have in place. So I strongly believe that there has to be some database where different, members of the RENs are have different projects being executed by their members. List it out, make it transparent, and so that researchers can come in and refer to this and then further collaborate and participate. I think this will really help in promoting the collaboration among different universities in different countries.
in fact, from the Asia Connect project, we started a database like this, and it didn't really happen further. Maybe we can look at it again. So 2017 or 2018, they launched a database of researchers, and I put my name in and my projects in those days, but I don't really know what has happened to it. Yeah. So, and at the same time, maybe for each REN, whether we are maintaining a database, that's where we should start, right? So a common one alone won't work. Maybe a federated type of setup should work. Should happen like that. Yeah. Taurit is still here. Okay. So Taurit is here. So Taurit was bringing in a different angle to what we discussed for Francis and empathy and all that. But how I see it is, I don't really see it as empathy. I mean, empathy everybody should have. I agree. But even other RENs, so those who are contributing to least developed or RENs from countries least developed and so on, I think even there's always a win-win. Right? It doesn't have to be one way. Right? That's what you are saying. Right? Even if it's a small, it doesn't have to be equal. That's the point, right? It doesn't have to be an equal monetary value, right? So somebody coming and connecting with you doesn't mean that you have equal money with me, like me or someone else. As long as you also can contribute and you have different type of resources and so on. Yeah. So it can still work. Yeah.
Yeah, so about the collaboration of the researchers and us, networking people, I have lots of experience. Sometimes, governments or the institute like Epinic Foundation has some collaborative funding for that. One of the examples is a Pragma built by NSF to encourage the Asia Pacific network. They built a project which collaborate with infrastructure people like a network or computers, supercomputers, with researchers together to do something. So I think if we, Kevin was already gone, but if we consult with those governmental agencies, sometimes they can have some money on it. And I still check that NICT is one of the research institute. So for them, actually research is very keen for that. So that they provide some funding called ASEAN IBO. And I checked that it's still there. So it's ASEAN. So ASEAN countries will join for research. So if you make some project with NICT people and ASEAN people together, so that researcher will come. I think easy things for the researchers to come is put the money on it, so that they will come, or maybe interesting research project. But I think that's a suggestion.
I've got a slightly different lens on this. I'm agreeing with everything we're saying so far, but a big driver for me, thinking that I have to report up to customers and a board and a government, is pragmatism. And the view that I'm really taking is how can I maximize the impact for either the REN community or New Zealand Inc. for the money I have. No one has enough money. I do not have enough money, even though I realize I'm in a privileged position compared to some. So there's two I just want to talk about some of the collaborations that we are driving to sort of maximize our ability to make a difference. One is we're working, and this is obviously cone of silence, this is early days, but we're working with ARNet to say, can we invest in your security operations center? They've invested and stood up an amazing operation. We're like, our members want us to do the same. We cannot afford it. New Zealand is not big enough. Can we invest in what you've done and make a regional play? And that's something we're starting to do. And that's, if we can pull that off, that's a great benefit for Australasia. The other thing we're doing is with identity management. We're talking to Australian Access Federation and saying, we need to rebuild our identity platforms. Can we actually work with you and do it differently? So I think there's a pragmatism that we should be bringing to these conversations to say, well, who has done something really, really well, like the federated HPC, that's exactly the same model, that we can all leverage together. And maybe we can put some time, maybe we can put some money, but we can actually develop some consistency across the sector, like you did when you set up the TAME network all those years ago, Francis. And then the other collaboration angle I wanted to play was collaborating locally. So we fund up to the Minister of Science. We've been told to focus on the network. That's what we pay you to do. So what we've done is we've ignored that, because actually as an NREN, we've got a lot of impact in education. So we've gone and worked with the Ministry of Education, no revenue, well, this is all about digital equity. And we're rolling out EduRoam across all secondary schools and secondary school students in New Zealand. We get it, this is all gratis, it's all no revenue, but what it has done is it has raised our profile with the Ministry of Education and it opens us in the future to additional funding rounds if we need it. So we've now gone and broadened our impact in the government through collaboration across the sector to help us make a difference. And that model we learned, we didn't make that up. That was after talking to HEANet Ireland, done Eduroam everywhere. We went, oh, we like that. How can you help us do that nationally? So it's just a couple of examples of where we're seeing this play in, but it's come very much from commercial pragmatism. That's probably my angle. That was all I wanted to say.
Thank you very much. Francis, you want to say something? You want to say something?
I can't agree with you more, but I think the thing is this session here is actually sharing. You know, I really like what Amber say. What are you doing? You know, and making a difference. You know, how are we positioning ourselves? They're working with the Ministry of Education is actually positioning yourself. You're not getting money from them, but you're positioning yourself for it. I don't get money for some of the projects I do, but I'm positioning myself very good, very good. Hey, you know, guess what? You need me, you know. And when at the end of the year, when I mean not the year, at the end of my funding projects with the government, and I ask for more funding, then they say, hey, guess what? These are people who have done, and they will say good words for me because I've done good things for them. You know, and this is part and parcel of collaboration. Money is one thing, but sometimes we ignore money first, look at the impact, and then we move. I was just wondering whether there's any other. I mean, I really enjoyed the Eduroam to the airport. I saw that. I said, great. You know, I couldn't even get our Eduroam to the public library in Singapore. I said, Christ, I will do it for you, but no.
Thank you very much. Understood.
I'm from Japan, and I'm in charge of MAFIN. MAFIN is a part of the Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry and Fisheries, and it provide the network service system to the Japanese institution related to the agriculture and forestry and fisheries, and it has about 10,000 users. And what we are doing is the daily operation. Well, there are a lot of, for example, inquiries from the researchers. For example, internet doesn't connect, for example, and my colleagues fix. And I think this is what we are doing, and support and researchers to use the supercomputer. For example, how to use supercomputer. Well, there should be some administrative procedure to use the supercomputer to all the MAFIN and operated supercomputer. Well, this is what we are doing. And in the case of Japan, there are two other organizations for research connections, and NICT and NII. And MAFIN is specialized for agriculture and forestry and fisheries. And for example, NII operates SciNet. SciNet is for all the research institutions and universities of Japan, for example. So our research institution of the related to agriculture and forestry and fisheries also connected to SciNet. And this kind of collaboration occurs. And in the case of Japan, NICT and NII and MAFIN and another one, WIDE project, has a kind of a collaboration. We connected MOU last year, and we collaborated for network in Japan, so in the case of Japan, the collaboration among the network agencies are important, and all of the players are closely related to different ministries. Well, in the case of Muffin is a part of Ministry of Agriculture and Forest and Fisheries, and NII is closely related to Ministry of General Affairs, and NICT is closely related to a Ministry of Ministry of Science and Technology. Yeah, and so in the case of Japan, and the collaboration among domestic collaboration is necessary, and of course all of them are independent with each other, and sometimes we meet with each other, and the name of the meeting is called Shinji, and the same name as well, that's what I say. I kept silent. So
thank you very much. In fact, something that I was also realizing, Francis, is things like Japan. They're doing a lot of work, but at different levels, like with different RENs, and therefore we don't for example, for me, I'm in the community for a while now, but I don't get that visibility. I don't really say the most of the problem I have, Taurit has, might be related to what you are having, not what NII is having, right? So NII may be seeing a REN, you have different type of problems, but even your countries have problems that we have, but someone else is looking at it, right? So maybe Singapore is too small and universities are too rich to look at problems like our problem, but Japan is a larger country where you have lot of institutions and their connectivity, the problem they have, the breakdowns they have, the services they want, all that are problems that we also face. But we don't get that visibility. Maybe that is something that we also as a community have to share and figure out. Like I was, in fact, even the presentation, I think, Simojosu, you did a presentation there in TNC, you did? Did you do a presentation? No, someone else did. Yeah, so a presentation where I realized, okay, Japan is doing it this way, but I never know that it can be done this way because they are not shared. So I think this is a good place where we can also understand and share it at that level, because you might not have that problem, but I have, right? So because, yeah. No, what I'm saying is even every country has even the same problem, but someone else is taking care of it. That's another angle, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Roshan. Actually, very fortunately, we got chances to visit Japan and Singapore in last month, and actually, after that visit, actually, I was really impressed by how these Japanese REN are collaborating with each other. So I think it's a very crucial as well for the maturity index as well. So because Japanese, they have the different regional networks, so you will not find a single REN model over there, right? So I think that is one of the areas so how we can incorporate the Japan in the maturity index as well, right? Because some are supporting for the network side, some are supporting for the application side, right? Like the Muffin, so they are more focusing on the agriculture and fishery side. So it's a very impressive model, I think I found that. So yeah.
NICT is amazingly trained. Yeah. Few different labs. They have optical labs and different labs. And Shimojo Sensei was running it for a while, right?
Yeah, even bigger than running it.
I want to bring something. I heard there was some issue with the connectivity that you have. Sorry, we bring it down to the level. What's the issue and how and how we could possibly assist?
Yes, for LearnNet, that is really challenge about the connectivity. Before in our university, we also set up the cable network, and later on some broken, and so now we try to find another work that the last our meeting workshop on the project of that Lao Bhutan bridge that collaborative under this Asia Connect. And we also discuss with some ISP in the countries that they also come to join with us the meeting and discuss about how to support to that our LearnNet can be run for the country. Yes, now in discussing and how to find out the way that to improve the connectivity within the university, within the institution, in the country first, and then to outside. Yes.
So if I understand you correctly, the challenge you have is within your own country, that you don't have the connectivity between the universities itself. Although I think there's a 10 meg between one of your university and Thailand, correct? It connects to Thailand. Charpon, is that correct? Yeah.
We open up so there's no problem for allowing our friends from REN to use. Actually, what REN mentioning is about the inside.
Inside, yeah. So there are two issues. One is the link going from Laos out to Thailand to connect to the rest of the REN. That is broken, correct? That second thing is basically internally not yet set up completely. Because last time, Charapon, some of your staff went to help to reconfigure and connect up their network, right? I'm not sure.
Yeah, that have been I don't know how long it has been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. I remember.
Actually, the issue is from University of Laos to actually the main
one, yeah,
main ones that connect through the Lanix, one of the ISP.
Okay.
Yeah, not directly connect to our REN. So there's a configuration issues. Through the Lanix to their ISP.
So it's a connection to the ISP that is the issue. Not last time I remember it was the router in the university connectivity that was the issue, and I remember your staff fixed that. Okay, so this is a different problem, and you all are talking to the ISP to resolve it already. Okay, but the second one is a very difficult problem, and that problem we also experienced in the very early days, and that's where we tie up with them to do that, because your local connections are very expensive. Local connections are very expensive. I'm not sure how that can be done. The government really has to come in on that. But I'll pass it to.
Yeah.
So what we are doing is, if we have about 100 connections within this island. So what we are doing is we are coming together and buying or leasing all 100 links on behalf of all the partners, all the members. So we buy all the links. So when we go and buy all the links from a provider, there are multiple providers, we make it competitive. And because we are buying many together, so I think you should also look at a similar model. You have, I think, 4 universities at least. Yeah, five universities. Yeah, so you might have to talk to them and see individually how much they are paying. Can we buy it for all of you? And then negotiate with the provider. So yeah, so such an idea would work. In fact, from the Asia Connect side, we gave some funding to Laos for figuring this out. That is all, not to set it up, no money for setting it up, just to figure it out, okay, how to do it. Yeah.
I mean, something just crossed my mind. If your if all the universities connect to the internet, right? And they connect to an internet exchange point. Their own ISP, is it?
In our country, there are 6 or 5 main ISP. So
is there an internet exchange point? I'm thinking that if there's an internet exchange point, they connect to the internet exchange point, then route it via the internet exchange point. Possible, right?
I understand they have LAIX, operated by LANIC. But I doubt they allow universities to connect directly. I think they mainly serve the licensed ISPs. Yeah, if NREN can be set up and then get the license, then they are licensed ISP, I suppose.
Licensed ISP, you have to pay the licensing fee. Yeah, but I mean, I was thinking out loud, rather than, because all the universities need commercial internet, and if they go to an internet exchange point and you are there, you are also connected there, then that may be a point where we can pull the traffic across to go to the NRENs. That's just a thought. Yeah, just a thought. Yeah. Yeah.
They should make their business plan. So far, I could understand that they are not allowed to provide internet service, so they cannot give common.
Yes.
Yeah. No, we are not. Yeah. Yeah.
So now all the universities, suppose all the universities are well connected with University of Laos, then what they are going to, which service they are going to provide? Computing, virtualization, or only research? Then how much research traffic do they have? So everything needs to be evaluated. So I told her, I advised her to first come up with the business plan, what they are going to do. If the commodity service is their cash cow service, then they should hanker after the regulatory authority, take the license, and then go for connectivity.
Okay. Singaporean don't dare to take licenses.
No, in their case, it might be.
It's huge cost, commercial, and one.
In our country, it's not that expensive.
Yeah.
Because we have hundreds of licenses given to the ISPs. This is the regulatory issue, whether the license will be issued to a research and education network.
With a country like Singapore, a lot of people are fighting for getting a license. So it's expensive.
Yes.
Not in every country.
In earlier days, it used to be different because you could segregate research traffic and commodity traffic very minutely, or very specifically you could segregate it. Nowadays, it is very difficult. All the YouTube traffic, YouTube is considered, even Facebook is considered as research traffic.
Yeah.
Because you are exchanging many documents, many research documents using Facebook.
Yeah.
So the regulators, they should be actually, they should work in favor of research and education network, considering the traffic characteristics has completely changed.
I saw some participating in their meetings.
So you had some workshops, and I see regulators also over there. It's a matter of convincing them that it's useful, because these are public funded universities, and therefore its regulatory body is also a public entity. So it's their interest to bring them up. And
Not only that, you can show the examples of other countries. LAN is doing it, Biriren is doing it, REN is doing it. So you can show them the examples of what other RENs are doing. Maybe then
Right.
they will be
Yeah.
more convinced.
Yeah, commodity traffic might be the thing to start, like Taurit was saying. If you can buy a commodity internet for all 5 institutions together, there is a monetary benefit. You should even look at whether that benefit is sufficient to even cover a license fee, right? So that's where you should start. That is what we did long time back. So we looked at to see if we are going to buy together, economy of scale, and whether our license fee is going to be covered within this budget. Actually, like I was saying, our license fee is much lower.
My point is not only commodity traffic, whatever service, they should make a business plan. It can be e-library, okay? It can be digital library, it can be e-journals.
They should start somewhere. I'm trying to tell them to start somewhere. If you put everything on, they are nowhere.
Not everything on. Suppose they are not going to get the commodity licenses. Will they just keep it as it is? They might need the connectivity to provide the research database, or they can get the research access to the research journals, and they can give that service to the universities. Then that connectivity will be useful. So before connecting the university, they should come up with the uses of that connectivity. That is my point.
Okay, we have is that one of the case we have in Pakistan is we have IXP hosted within PAN. But the fact is the operators do not usually shares all the pairings and they do not have all the traffics towards the IXP and cannot push them to share all the pairings. We are neutral bodies and all that. So one of the cases they do not share all the pairings. Secondly, there are remote areas like in Pakistan where the only can provide the wireless links to them, where fiber cannot be reached and cannot be laid. So what we do is we ask the ISPs to drop the traffic to nearest POP of PAN. So they do what they do, the POP, the ISPs do the pairing with the POP of PAN, and they take the traffic from the university or the site and they drop the traffic to nearest POP of PAN. So within that university, then we divide the traffic to different VLANs, and we make the VLANs of one VLANs of R&D, and one is a commodity, and one for intranet. Then we do the virtual VLANs and make the traffic separate for different kind of traffic. The where we cannot do is some hilly areas where we do not have any POP, where we do not, only we can buy the capacity from the operator. The difficulty is the only thing they are connected with PAN, but the thing is we cannot have PAN services can be not very much effective. They do not know what is actually PAN is, or what actual corroboration, what actually useful of PAN is, because they're all using over the internet, and which is, I believe, is a very hated thing that preferred. I would not prefer anyone to go with the only commodity traffic to go with any site. You should look that at least managed capacity, who can connect with any nearest POP of the NREN and make some at least VLANs to have a segregate of traffic. Otherwise, if you only go for the commodity traffic at its site, it would happen for NREN cannot launch any kind of services because it would be over the internet.
Sorry, I hope you can hear. Everyone is a friend, a family member, trying to think about how we can different possibilities. But I guess where Taurit is coming from is think through what
what you're doing and why you're doing it. And you should, and you must do that. Okay. What some of the suggestions is from our past experience, some of the possibilities that you can take in. But I know Laos, I've been there before. You have a lot of other challenges as well, you know. So we hope our input has been useful for you. Yeah. So sorry, I brought your case up because I feel we're a family. If someone has problem, we the family listen and try and understand and see how a possibility we can do. Yeah. Oh, you want to say something?
Yeah. I'm very happy to discuss in this yeah, as a family. The last workshop we get some progress that we already set up our like master plan, strategy, and working plan for LearnNet in the next. So far, we will under this master plan, we will talk with our ISP in the country how to help that LearnNet to be one of the ISP. That we are thinking about that. Otherwise, we could not stand on our own, because if we depend on the government budget, so it's could not support for running this. Yeah, that is about progress. Thank you.
Eric.
Yeah. Eric Ian from Taiwan. Yeah, just 3 simple comments echoing the 3C. Yeah, I totally agree what Francis. Yeah. What Francis has mentioned. The first one is complementary. I think to have better collaboration, that's maybe that's one of the essential things. The second thing, according to our experience, is that not just the collaboration among REN, but it's better to extend our collaboration with the user community. Yeah, to our experiences, we learn a lot from our users, and with those collaboration with users, then we can extend the capability and services of the REN. Yeah. The third thing is that based on those three C's and those collaboration practices, then we can expect that the whole could be much larger than the sum of the individuals. I think that's the objective we like to achieve through the collaborations. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else want to contribute more on collaboration? If not, we are almost.
We're going for dinner, right?
Yeah, we are almost almost there and ready for dinner. So let me just close the session by saying a few items. One, so today we had discussed 2 major items. One on the topic Taurit started, the evolving landscape of RENs, and he was talking mostly on the compendium and NNS results, and particularly how we are evaluating and how we are looking at all this. And we realized financial aspect of it, how we can bring finance or take a serious look at the financial aspect of it. Will have a lot of influence on everything that we do. And therefore, that is one. And then the second topic we were looking at, talking about collaboration, some emotional side of it, and interesting aspects. And based on that, but something that I realized is we also should look at how we do visibility. And it looks like we are doing a lot of things inside, a lot of things outside, but not only a very little are shared. And therefore, we should do more sharing. And we see this as a platform where we can do such sharing without worrying too much about whether it's right, wrong, good, bad, right? We openly share, like how we share within family members. So in fact, based on these aspects, during this session, I thought of 2 topics for the next next round. That is for the next meeting. One on financial stability on one side, other one on visibility. If you have anybody who would want to volunteer to do a small keynote, start the topic, and as we did this time, we can start the topic and then everybody can share, discuss, and then we can come to something on both the topics. So I'll summarize it and share with you all, and you can propose. If you don't propose anybody, they volunteer. Not propose, volunteer. If you don't volunteer, then we'll make you volunteer, right? So that's the idea. So we'll do that. And so that's one, what we want to do next time. For the next meeting, are we all in agreement, or do we have any other ideas? Yes.
I was wondering, if you talk about visibility, maybe we can get someone like Helga or someone like that, where we can invite people to share with us, because we are not in the area, to be frank, and I wonder whether that's okay with the community here.
That's a very good idea. Even who can do financial stability?
I just want to say, maybe for finance, you should choose one which is maybe a larger economy and one which is smaller one, because the relevance of the bigger one may not be the same as.
Okay, so for two people from for the finance side, just take a note of it, and visibility, someone from outside, maybe from Jen, like Helga, or someone who is doing this sort of things all over. Yeah, right. Someone whose business is this. Just that's what they do, bread and butter, so that they will get better understanding. Yeah, and then yeah, we'll do that, and then we can reflect on what we are doing and how it can be put together. Thank you very much for that idea. Any other suggestions?
So that you don't ask.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to ask you. Yeah, sorry. Thank you. Any other suggestions, ideas? Right. So silence. I'll take it as no more suggestions. So we'll wind up, and I will send the proceedings of this meeting to you all within 2 weeks.
Not proceedings already.
Formal.
Not sharing.
Okay, not sharing. I thought proceedings is not formal. Minutes are formal. Record. Okay, record of the sessions, whatever it is called, notes of the sessions to you all within 2 weeks. And if you have updates, you can make them, and then we communicate, and looking forward to meeting you all again. Thank you very much.